Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Southwest.
After a 2-year apprenticeship as the closer, the Rangers' most electric arm takes his place in the starting rotation. The 2012 debut of Neftali Feliz is coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest. Welcome to the opening week of baseball, presented by Burger King. And for the second straight night here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, a highly anticipated starting debut. Game 2 of the 4-game series against the Seattle Mariners. We get our first look as a starter at Neftali Feliz tonight. A buzz in the ballpark. And for more, here's Jim Knotts.
Take 2 straight for the Mariners. They're actually wearing the red jersey for the first time this season. We'll see what happens. Rangers coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest.
Ford dealer and drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By Burger King, proud sponsor of opening week baseball. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. And we welcome you to Rangers Ballpark. Dave Barnett along with Tom Greaves. Second straight starting debut. Yu Darvish gutted it out for a win last night. What should we expect tonight out of Neftali Feliz?
It's tough to say, Dave. He hasn't pitched as a starter for a couple of years, but he's been groomed as a starter throughout his minor league career. He wants to be a starter. He's comfortable. He's looking forward to it, and he's ready. So expectations, I'd say the Rangers would be disappointed if he doesn't give them 5 innings. His pitch count will probably be 90 to 100 pitches, and hopefully he'll be able to go further than that. All depends on how many strikes he throws. Command of his fastball, I think, is probably the key.
And for more, let's go down and welcome Emily Jones.
Well, Dave and Tom, it's just like you said. This was the plan for Neftali Feliz from the beginning. We lost sight of that because he was such a dynamic closer for this period of time in which the Rangers have been so successful. Ron Washington excited about his debut and hoping it goes a little differently than Yu Darvish's last night.
Just hope he controlled his emotions a little better today. But nope, he's worked hard for this opportunity and this moment, and I'm certainly looking forward to him seizing it.
Ron Washington with tonight's Geico quote of the game, and that's what Neftali talked about yesterday leading up to this one, just harnessing those emotions. You can let them all out in one inning. You've got to spread them out over a course of a game. What he hopes will be 7 or 8 innings here tonight. We'll see how he does, guys.
And there is Neftali Feliz taking the mound as a starter of the major leagues for the first time. 154 major league appearances, all out of the bullpen until tonight. And here is the Mariner lineup he will face. It'll begin again with Sean Figgins in left field, Dustin Ackley playing second, batting second, Ichiro batting third this year. He's in right. The former Ranger first rounder Justin Smoke is again at first base and in the cleanup hole, with Kyle Seager playing third. The DH, the acquisition from the Yankees, their prize prospect for 3 years, their #1 prospect, Jesus Montero. Michael Saunders is in center. Again, catching is the veteran Olivo. And over from Japan, Munenori Kawasaki starting at shortstop.
Well, this is Neffy's first career major league start, but he's definitely battle tested. You have to be as a closer. He's pitched in crucial situations. That part of it is not going to bother him at all. He had 4 spring starts. He had a simulated game before the season started where he threw over 100 pitches. He's throwing the ball well. The key is to locate his fastball to keep his pitch count down, because he can pitch well with only his fastball. How well he does depends on his other pitches and the command that he has of his curveball, his changeup, and his ability to mix up his pitches. But it all starts with his fastball, and the other pitches don't fall in place unless he commands his fastball.
And first up, he gets Sean Figgins, the veteran, off to a terrific start with a .381 average. And that last line you read about Feliz, that is correct. No Mariner has ever had a base hit in 48 total at-bats against Neftali Feliz. The current Mariners roster, a combined 0 for 28 with 13 strikeouts. Never seen anything like that, for as many times as he has faced them. So 2-0 to Figgins, who got last night started against Yu Darvish, working a 4-pitch walk. And the first 3 from Feliz all miss. Figgins healthy this year. Last year, basically a lost year, right hip flexor strain. And that one is in there for a strike. David DeMuth, crew chief, is behind the plate. Kerwin Danley at first, Doug Eddings at second, and Paul Noward is at third. At the top of the zone, a full count. Just a few clouds scattered above the ballpark. Rather humid. Chance of showers. Very pleasant at the moment, and that one is high for ball 4. So the second straight game begins with a walk by Sean Figgins. Defense behind Feliz tonight. Familiar look. Murphy in left, Hamilton in center, and Cruz in right, with the infield of Beltre, Andrews, Kinsler, and Moreland. And Napoli is behind the plate again.
Well, last year, Jorvik Torrealba did the bulk of the catching, somewhere around 100 games. Mike was somewhere around 40 or 50 games catching, but he also DH'd. He also played first base. And this year, Mike will do a lot more of the catching than he did last year. But when you look at the overall catching and you have 2 veterans like Torrealba and Napoli, you know your catching's in great shape.
Dustin Ackley fouls that one back, 1-1. The first-round pick 3 years ago, the second overall pick in the draft out of the University of North Carolina. Tar Heels all-time leader, a career average of .412. And again, Feliz missing high. That time with a breaking ball. The last time Neftali Feliz took the mound as a starter, June 21st of 2009 for Oklahoma City against Nashville. 155th Major League appearance. Became the closer, age 21, and joined Mike Hargrove year before last, the only Rangers to win American League Rookie of the Year, setting a then Major League rookie record of 40 saves. Ackley lifts that one out of play, and it's 2-2.
10 pitches, all fastballs so far.
Ackley voted by those who cover the Mariners last year their MVP. With 273, a little over half the season in his Major League debut. Got some Rookie of the Year votes himself. And he reaches for that one. Still 2-2. Mariners see him as a pure hitter with some Ichiro in him. He can make contact almost out of the box. He lifts that one into left field for Murphy.
That's kind of what we were talking about before the game started. The key is get your fastball over. Neffy's got a good enough fastball where you can't pitch a whole game with a fastball, but there's a lot of times in relief where he would throw exclusively fastballs. He's got the kind of fastball that hitter can look for a fastball and still be a little bit late on it. And so the key is to throw it for strikes and get ahead with it, and that'll allow you to mix in your off-speed pitches and give them more than just the fastball to look for.
So with one out, first pitch misses high to Ichiro. 3 hits and 5 trips last night. Total of 287 career hits against the Rangers. 4 from the all-time opponent record of 291 held by George Brett. A lot of focus in Seattle on Ichiro this year. Final year of his contract after a big drop-off last year. First year in which he did not look like a Hall of Famer. He had 272.
Neffy's fastball so far has been mostly 93, 94, but he popped one in there at 96. I think that's what you'll see from him most of the time. Kind of cruising along at 93, 94, and then when he needs a little bit extra, he's got that 95 or 96.
When he has missed with that fastball, it has been invariably high. That one way high for ball 3. He's mid-90s, that one at 94. So velocity there, but not the command so far. His first 16 pitches, only 7 have been strikes. And high again for ball 4, his second walk. And there are 2 aboard with 1 out for Justin Smoke.
Now, last night, when Darvish was struggling in the first inning, Dave, I mentioned that Todd Stottlemyre had once had a first inning where he threw over 50 pitches. And Bill Jones texted me today and told me the exact details of that first inning. It was his second start as a Ranger after he was traded, and Todd threw 57 pitches in the first inning. Gave up 4 runs, 4 walks, 2 singles, 1 error, and struck out the side. So that was quite an inning. I don't know that I ever remember someone throwing 57 pitches. Could have happened before they kept pitch counts, but to be in there after 57 pitches without coming out of the game in the first inning is pretty remarkable.
So here is Justin Smoke. And he looks at a high strike. You think if somebody asked Stottlemyre about that game, about the first inning, all he said was, well, I struck out the side.
I don't know. He'd say he pitched about a game and a half in the first inning. And if he dropped in a breaking ball on the first pitch to get his head of smoke, that's a nice sign.
This one should be two. Kinsler, Andrus, Moreland with the stretch. And Feliz works around a couple of early walks. Thankful to do so. Nothing for the Mariners. The Rangers coming to bat. And now Blake Bevan takes the mound against this Ranger lineup for Ron Washington. Ian Kinsler, Elvis Andrus, and Josh Hamilton here in the first. Beltre at third, batting cleanup ahead of the DH Young, Cruz in right, Murphy in left, Napoli catching, and Mitch Moreland batting ninth. And the former Ranger first-round draft pick out of Irving High School, the 2006 Texas Gatorade High School Player of the Year.
Well, Blake Bevan was a terrific pitcher in the minor leagues, and he had a nice half a season with the Mariners last year. 5-6, a solid 4.27 ERA. One thing you know with Blake Bevan, he will throw strikes. Less than a walk and a half per 9 innings while he was in the big leagues. And he had a couple of starts against the Rangers last year and pitched very well. He lost to the Rangers in Seattle. Mitch Moreland hit a 3-run homer against him. But he will throw strikes. He'll come right at you with his fastball. He's got some good pitches to go along with it. In the minor leagues, he only walked 90 batters in 546 innings. And for a hard-throwing high school pitcher, that's remarkable. Less than 2 walks per 9 innings in the minor leagues.
1-1 to Kinsler, newly extended through the 2017 season. Announced just after last night's game. On base at least twice every game so far, including last night's capping 3-run home run. Blake Bevan last year just under 1.4 walks per 9 innings. That is a club record. Jamie Moyer had the old mark. And Kinsler under that one a bit, out to right center field. Ichiro is there for the first out. The Mariner defense brought to you by the Three Stooges, the movie with Figgin, Saunders, and Ichiro in the outfield. Seager at third, Kawasaki moves over to short tonight. Ackley gets the start at second. Smoke at first, Olivo behind the plate. And here is Elvis Andrus off to, surprisingly, after a terrific spring in which he hit 400, a 1-for-16 start, and this is the slowest start of Elvis's young career. Pops the first pitch up. Right around second base, and Kawasaki makes the call. And gets 2 quick outs in the air.
Bevan has a sneaky fastball. He's a big kid, 6'6", 6'7". His fastball is not 96 or 97. It's more 90, 93. Plenty of velocity. Pretty good movement on it. And a lot of times the hitters are just a tick behind it. And I'd say that was the case with both of the pop-ups. Kinsler to right, Andrus to shortstop. Just a tick behind his fastball.
First pitch is away to Josh Hamilton. Only Ranger to have a hit in all 4 games, and at .500 average, top 3 in the American League. Taking him away again, and that one just misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Three of those 4 games, multi-hit. Homers in his last 2. To the upper porch and the straightaway center, and again away for ball 3.
They're pitching him carefully, and it's probably a smart thing to do. If you've had scouts watching him at the beginning of the season, you know he's swinging a great bat right now. You get one on the inside part of the plate, he's liable to hit another one. But pitching around him right here is probably a smart thing to do.
Again, walks exceedingly rare for Blake Bevan. 5th lowest walk rate in Major League history by a rookie last year.
A little bit behind the fastball. I'd say all 3 guys were just a tick behind his fastball in the first inning.
Figgins puts that one away, and it's a 1-2-3-10 pitch. First inning for Blake Bevan.
Spokane, Washington, to watch the Rangers tonight. Good to have them here. And also Community Corner, we want to talk about the Storybook Series is back. Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation, JCPenney's, and the Area Chamber of Commerce in Arlington has teamed up to bring in noted children authors who will read stories at local high schools, local schools to encourage kids to read. So to find out more, log on to texasrangers.com/foundation. Dave?
All right, Knoxville, here's Kyle Seager, the 3rd baseman. Comes in with 3 straight multi-hit games and a .438 start with 5 runs batted in. Feliz beginning this inning by missing high with a fastball. 19 pitches in the first, 2 walks, bailed out by the Smoke double play grounder. Montero and Saunders to follow here in the second.
Well, Seager had a good night with the bat last night. He had 3 at-bats where he hit the ball right on the good part of the bat. Last 2 years in the minor leagues, his average was over 340, different levels of the minor leagues. When it's all over and done with, he may might be a top of the order guy, maybe a second place hitter. Took a little off right there. I don't know if he's going to be a power guy to hit fifth, but when they finally get their team together and get their players, you know, where they want them over the next 2 or 3 years, he could be the kind of guy, because he makes good contact, be a really good second place hitter. Ackley may be a guy that ends up hitting third. He's a good average guy who walks a lot. So they got some guys in place.
Grounded sharply, but right to Mitch Moreland for out number 1.
Dave, we got some guests in the booth tonight. Kevin Birch and Steve Cox. Glad to have you guys with us tonight.
Welcome. Auction winners. And they met Emily and still decided to come up here and waste time with us.
Yeah,
that's a surprise.
I can't understand that one, Dave. I don't know what to tell you.
But we're happy to have them, happy for their contribution to get up here. So here is Jesus Montero, who was, for the last 3 years, the top prospect in the Yankees system. They thought so highly of him. That's why they didn't get Cliff Lee year before last. The Rangers agreed to include Justin Smoke in that deal. The Yankees would not put Jesus Montero in the deal, and now those two are teammates in Seattle.
One thing I like about Feliz is he's working a little quicker than he sometimes does. He's staying right on top of the mound. He's looking for the sign. He's throwing the ball. His body language is aggressive. And the other thing you like about him so far is he's throwing his off-speed pitches right around the plate. The ball that Seager grounded out on was an off-speed pitch. That was an off-speed pitch that chipped the end of the bat off of Montero's bat. So that's a good sign, too.
Let's go down to Emily.
Tom, you talk about the way that Neftali is working and how quickly he's working. And Michael Young made the comment to me last night about Yu Darvish, and something that he noticed right off the bat with you was how quickly he worked and how engaged the defense was, even when he was struggling through that first inning. That's something that he appreciated. And I'm sure the same sentiments will be echoed tonight with Neftali.
Here's the 1-2, and Montero strikes out. First strikeout for Neffy, out number 2.
Yep, so far so good. He weathered the storm early with a command of his fastball, and he got a big double play to get out of the inning, kept his pitch count below 20, and now he's come out with the first 2 hitters and mixed in some really good off-speed pitches to go along with his fastball. And yeah, Emily, I don't think there's any defense that ever played at any level that doesn't appreciate a starting pitcher or any pitcher who works quickly and keeps them in the ball game. Nothing worse for fans, broadcasters, and defenses to have a guy walking around the mound taking too much time between pitches. Just slows the game down, and it's tough to be at the top of your game defensively and alert with a starting pitcher who's taken all day.
Ball 2 to Michael Saunders, the center fielder. Have you ever known a ball player who said that pitcher pitches too fast?
Nope. Never heard that before. I've heard some hitters say it. Jim Cott used to pitch without a windup, get the ball, and want to throw it as soon as he got the ball. And the hitters used to have to step out because you just couldn't get ready. So I've heard hitters say that about a pitcher. Never heard a defensive player say it.
This pop-up headed toward the line. Murphy is over there. Does he have room? Yes, right on top of the line. And a nice recovery from the 2-walk first, a 14-pitch, 1-2-3 second for Feliz. Yes, and Southwest Airlines are offering a chance to win a trip for 4 to watch the Rangers play in Los Angeles. Register to win at MetroPCSFlyaway.com. Dressed just like that out there in Anaheim. You'll fit right in.
That's a cute Ranger top.
That is priceless.
She's got a chance to be a diva by the time she's 13.
In the Rangers' second, Beltre, Young, and Cruz. Blake Bevan got all 3 outs in the air in the first. After an 0 for 7 start his first 2 games, Beltre is next to 4 for 9, including his first home run of the season. Driven in 2, scored 4. That one is in there. And he's looking for 2. Ichiro's throw is not in time, and it's a stand-up double to lead things off in the second for Beltre.
And as is the case frequently with Adrian, that wasn't a bad pitch. It looked like it was a pretty good fastball down and away. But he hits pitchers' pitches. And he just went down on that pitch down and away. Watch the catcher's glove. That's where the ball is, down and away, sinking. And he just drove it into the gap for a double. Next time up, Bevan may throw him up and in, and he'll pull it down the left field line. That's just he's just a good hitter. Great hand-eye coordination with power.
So Michael Young, first time up, has an RBI opportunity. This is the fastball. Adrian Beltre safe at second, safe and secure. New York life. Michael 1 for 4 last night, his 102nd career RBI against Seattle. 2 from the club record, held by Juan Gonzalez.
That gives you a pretty good idea of the kind of fastball, the effectiveness of his fastball when he throws 2 fastballs by Michael Young like that. I mean, he must hide the ball pretty well. Doesn't have a real long arm action. And it's probably coming out right from behind his head, and it's tough to pick up for the hitter. At least that's what it looks like.
Neither of those was overpowering. They were 92 and 91. And the breaking ball foul down the right field line.
And there's been a lot of pitchers whose fastball had the effectiveness of a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, yet who didn't throw 95 miles an hour. Watch the ball come right behind his head, and there has to be something about it. Maybe it's his height, the angle that he throws the ball at. It just makes it a little tough to pick it up. Sid Fernandez used to be like that. Sid Fernandez threw about 90, 91 sometimes, but got a lot of strikeouts with his fastball because the hitter couldn't pick it up.
Chop back to him, and Beltre caught up between second and third. Meanwhile, Young to second base. Beltre made that last long enough to replace himself on the bag.
Yep. You're going to throw him out at first base anyway, and all you've done is replace runners. That's good base running by a veteran. And a great example. You don't have to have great speed to be a good base runner. Adrian's job, once he got hung up, was to prolong the rundown so that Michael Young could get to second. The first mistake in the rundown was Bevan threw the ball too quickly. And then Seattle gets the out, but does a poor job of executing the rundown play because they let Michael Young get to second base. If Bevan runs right at the runner, then that play happens much quickly, and Michael has to stay at first base.
So it goes 1-5-6-5 on the rundown to get Beltre. And here's Cruz with 1 out. Big night last night. 3 hits, including a 3-run homer off Hector Noesi in the 3rd inning. 4 RBIs. First career 4 RBI game for Cruz against the Mariners. Blake Bevan to Seattle with Smoke, 2 others, for Cliff Lee and Mark Lowe on July 9th, 2010. Bevan at the time at Double-A Frisco was impressing. He was 10-5 with an ERA of 2.78, 17th overall pick in the draft in 07 out of Irving. And that one far enough from Olivo for Young to take third.
Another example of good base running. The minute that ball hit the dirt, Michael took off. It was a wild pitch, probably. Yeah, the interesting part about the matchup, Dave, I'm not sure if you've mentioned this yet. I'm sure you would have. Bevan and Feliz pitched on the same team in Clinton. That's pretty good makings of a starting staff, especially when you add Derek Holland to it.
Yeah, Derek Holland was also 7-0 with that group. 2008 Clinton Lumber Kings in the Midwest League.
The rest of that league, when they went into Clinton and faced Bevan, Feliz, and Holland, that was not a lot of fun. And for good measure, Mitch Moreland hit .320 and knocked in 99 runs that year. That'd be one of the better minor league teams as far as future prospects go that year.
Cruz just off that one, sends it back to the screen. 3-2. Very young Seattle team. Last year and this, he was one of 4 rookies in their rotation at one time or another last year. This year they are the second youngest team in the American League. Only the Royals have a lower average age. That one fouled straight back. Here was the 3-run blast off to AC last night. That's right where that walk-off grand slam of the ALCS went against the Tigers. They would recognize that trajectory. ALCS MVP, of course. And Bevan strikes him out. First strikeout.
It's a good pitch. Fastball up and away. Got Nelly to swing and miss at that pitch twice. Especially man on third base and only 1 out. Infield back, any kind of contact brings in a run. But he ran that ball to the outside corner. And Nelly couldn't quite reach it.
So 2 outs and Young at third. You're surprised anytime Cruz doesn't drive in that run, but we'll see if David Murphy can. 0 for 3 last night. He had a hit in each of the first 3 games. That one off the glove of Kawasaki, and that'll do the job. Young is home, and it's 1-0.
You just love those 2-out hits with men in scoring position. Rangers got a couple of them in the first inning yesterday to battle back after the Mariners scored 4 in the top of the first. David Murphy, first ball hitting. Hit the ball sharply the other way. Bevan throws the ball with good tailing action. See the location, down and away. And David drives it just enough in the hole to where Kawasaki couldn't make the play on it.
In and out of the glove. And here is Napoli. 3 walks last night, tying his career high. 125 average. He is 1 for 8, but look at the on-base percentage of .364. That's what patience and an eye like Napoli will get you.
Yesterday, the Mariners didn't convert a double play, a routine double play in the first inning, and the Rangers scored twice. Today, they didn't convert a rundown, which let Michael Young get to second instead of remaining at first. They got 2 runs yesterday because of it, and they've got a run in the second inning today because the Mariners didn't execute that rundown play properly. You got a young team, and you know those are growing pains you go through. Eric Wedge knows that.
Good sink on that last fastball to get it to 0-2. Well, this one is dribble foul. Seattle last year 67 wins. They were 29 games behind the Rangers. Only the Astros had a worse record, 56-106.
The Mariners, in spite of that record, they had pretty good pitching. Starters and bullpen, they just couldn't score any runs. No pitching staff could have won with the offense they had last year. Phillies would have had a hard time being .500 with that offense.
So Bevan strikes out Cruz and Napoli, but the Rangers get a run. On 2 hits, Murphy the RBI. He is left at after 2. 1-0 Texas. Geico Insurance. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day. And by the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. Strike one to Miguel Olivo, and for the first time this year, we welcome Rangers President and CEO Nolan Ryan from his seat down near first base dugout. Nolan, your early impressions of Neftali Feliz this first start?
Well, he's been very inconsistent with both his fastball and his slider. I don't know if you'd call it a slider or curveball. It's kind of a big sweeping breaking ball, and he just hasn't been consistent with it yet, and it reflects in his ball strike count.
It's Olivo looking with that breaking ball. There's his second strikeout.
I think he heard you, Nolan. He said, take that one.
Maybe I need to speak more about it.
Nolan, how exciting is it for you? I know since you've been here, the organization has stressed pitching. To have the opportunity on any given night to see Holland, Harrison, Darvish, Feliz, and Kobe Lewis for that matter, but the three young guys in the rotation, that has to be pretty exciting for you.
Well,
isn't it?
it really is, and you know, we're at the point where those guys are still developing, so you don't know how good they're going to get, and it's not too often that you see a young rotation like that with the potential and with what they're doing. You know, each year they get better as a group.
This is Kawasaki, 2 balls and a strike. No, what was it like for you watching Yu Darvish in the first inning last night?
I tell you what, I was concerned about him, you know, and obviously he was so revved up. He had no command, no feel for the ball, and I was just hoping that he would settle down and kind of get back into his groove, and it took him a couple innings to do it, but when I look back now at that performance, I think it was very positive with what he did and accomplished, that he just kept battling and settled down and kind of regained his stuff and got a win out of it and really had a strong performance, because in that first inning he threw so many pitches. I was thinking, gosh, if he comes out in the second and struggles, he may not get out of the second.
Well, Nolan, you didn't have a lot of games like that, but I can remember a couple of games that you had very similar to that, to where you struggled in the first inning, threw a ton of pitches, and your comments after the game were, I had to get through the first inning so I could go my 5 or 6 innings and make sure the bullpen didn't have to work. So I'm sure sitting there, you'd been through it before, and you had to appreciate that he kind of sucked it up and did that.
Yeah, I really was, and that is exactly what he did too. Is that he saved us from having to burn the bullpen last night, and you know, the fact that Natali hadn't pitched that much in the spring, and that he had a little bit of a tender shoulder. You know, the last thing Ron wanted to do was go into tonight's game with a depleted bullpen,
yeah, exactly.
So it really worked out fine.
Exactly.
0-2 to Sean Figgins. Nolan, quickly, were you surprised to get the deal done with Ian Kinsler after opening day?
Well, we knew in spring training that we weren't that far apart, but it was just whether what the length of the contract was going to be, and us getting comfortable with Ian about what was most important to him. And so as the fact that the opening day kind of caught up with us, and people were coming out of a surprise, and there was a period there for about 5 or 6 days that we weren't able to really work on it. And so no, I really thought in spring training that we were close and probably get something done.
Well, that is another key member of the nucleus signed up now through 2017. Going to be a great feeling.
Well, we really are proud of that, because we feel like he's such a big part of the clubhouse and the team, and when you'll have that transition period where there'll be some of those young prospects we have come in, that he'll be kind of that figure that'll help get them through that.
Nolan, can we keep you around another half inning?
Sure, that's fine.
All right, that's another 14 pitch inning for Feliz. hosting clients or employees, and suites can turn a game with family and friends into a special occasion for your group of 10 to 200 to watch a Rangers game in style. Visit TexasRangers.com/suites or call 972-RANGERS. And that can be your viewpoint. Mitch Moreland to lead off the third. And then to the top of the order, and Kinsler and Andrews. Rangers a run on 2 hits in the second off of Blake Bevan. And Mitch last night, first 2 hits of the season, including the winner, 2-run homer that broke the 5-5 tie in the 4th inning. Nolan Ryan still with us. With the crush of interest in the Far East and all the Japanese media last night surrounding you, Darvin, I wonder if you could just talk to the future of the relationship between American baseball and Japan. Do you see this to be something that will continue? There will be more and more Japanese make their way over here?
Oh, I really believe there will be, and I think that there'll be opportunities as we see tonight. You know, they have 2 position players from Japan in their lineup. Seattle does. And, you know, we have 3 pitchers on our staff, so I think we'll see that relationship increase. And you know, there's been a lot of discussion about whether you have a world draft or not, and how do you balance that with the Japanese league wanting to recruit their own countrymen to play in their league, and then whether we are able to draft into that group of kids coming out of high school in Japan. So there's some of those things Major League Baseball still has to work out.
Inside to Moreland at a full count. I haven't heard what the ratings were in Japan, but they got almost 2 million at 4 in the morning to watch Yu Darvish in a Cactus League game. I'm assuming they bettered that at 9 a.m. It was last night here. It was already today. If you're following me, it's already confusing. But in Japan,
well, it was interesting what our ratings were last night. That we had higher ratings in Dancing with the Stars, and that's big.
How about that?
Yeah.
What are the chances of us seeing you on Dancing with the Stars, Nolan? I think
the only thing we're waiting on is an invite.
Whoa! You might get a surprise in the mail tomorrow.
You just flung the door open, I'm afraid.
What
I'll start practicing.
What's been the reaction to all the improvements you've made for the fans out in center field, Nolan?
You know, it's been very positive. Everybody's excited about it. Everybody that goes out there comes back and raves about it, and I couldn't be any happier with the way that it turned out. And I really give Rob Matwick a lot of credit for making sure that got done in a timely manner and with the way that it all came together.
3-2 again to Moreland. Driven to left. Figgins going back and just able to reach up and grab that in the webbing.
He's not very tall, so he didn't catch it with his reach, but he's very quick, and he got back on it quickly.
That was a heck of a catch.
Yeah, it was, boy. He took an extra base hit away from Mitch, who really went the other way and hit that ball well. I thought it was over Figgins' head.
I thought it was hit so hard, I thought it was going to carry by him before he could get there.
Yep, I did too. We're showing the replay, and it's right in the tip of his glove. Nice play. Here's a guy that's played a lot of third base with the Angels, a lot of second base with the Mariners, and now he's playing left field this year. Pretty versatile.
Franklin Gutierrez out with a torn pec until sometime next month. And here is Ian Kinsler flied to right to begin the game. Nolan, you were talking about the negotiations and how close they were at the end of spring. And Ian himself said it was close enough before opening day that he was disappointed it didn't get done. But I assume he's not disappointed anymore.
No, I don't think so. I think that he was pleased to get it done as well as we were. And he's very happy with the contract and the fact he wants to be a Ranger in entire career. And so this will help enable him to hopefully achieve that goal.
Nolan, does the organization have any philosophy on whether or not you will negotiate during the season, or is that pretty much just the individual negotiation?
Well, it comes down to the individual. Our preference is not to do that, but, you know, in certain situations, if it makes sense for us to do that, then we certainly will. And nowadays, you know, with agents and you can do so much preliminary stuff and really get pretty close to ironing out a deal before you have to really bring the player into the picture. And so the player and the agent, they pretty much know what their expectations are, what they're looking for. So I think we can get it done. And our preference is not to do it, but with key people, we're willing to do it.
So there's a rare walk from Blake Bevan. Kinsler aboard with one out, and here is Andrews, who popped up his first trip. Rangers yet to steal a base this year. One of 4 teams in the American League in that category. Big reason to re-sign Kinsler. 2 30-30 seasons. And a handful in history have managed that. Andrews and then Hamilton here in the Ranger third. There is Josh and Nolan. We appreciate your time. Look forward to the year visiting with you from down in your seat.
Well, be glad to do it, guys.
Thanks, Nolan.
All right, thank you.
All right, that is Nolan Ryan. And here's the 1-0 pitch to Elvis. And Bevan has hit a little wild spell. 6 straight have missed. Rangers saw him late last year, September 16th. 8 shutout innings. First rookie to do that for Seattle since King Felix managed it. 2 years before that. That one reaches the seats. Bevan, only Mariner to open his major league career with 6 consecutive quality starts. Michael Pineda last year had 5 straight. Pineda now with the Yankees. The price to get Jesus Montero, and last night's starter Hector Noesi to Seattle. So the Mariners looking at this 23-year-old from Irving as a cornerstone of their rotation. Close tabs on Kinsler. Walks are so rare. He went 3 straight starts without a single walk last September, covering over 24 innings. And a little more on Blake Bevan from Ellie Jones.
Well, you guys might remember the zest for which Blake Bevan entered baseball when he was drafted by the Rangers. Had some very bold comments to make about the impact he thought he could have on the current Rangers rotation. At that time, Kevin Millwood was on that rotation, and it's interesting to note that Millwood has kind of taken Bevan under his wing and mentored him on this Mariners staff, despite the things that he had to say back in '07 when he was drafted.
He pretty much indicated that he was ready to help the Rangers pretty much right then. As you see Kinsler thrown out on the bounce. Nice scoop by Kawasaki, the shortstop, on Olivo's throw.
That's great play by Kawasaki. I don't know if he tagged him or not. It's tough to tell, but that was a tough play to catch and tag with.
And 3-2 to Elvis. Kevin Millwood will be the Seattle starter tomorrow. The former Ranger #1 against the new Ranger #1, Colby Lewis, make his second start. 7:05 Fox Sports Southwest tomorrow night. And down on strikeout number 3. So Bevan working around the walk to Kinsler with help from Olivo and Kawasaki in the third. 3, but pitched around that, has 3 strikeouts. David Murphy drove in the run. Michael Young scoring in the 2nd, and here in the 4th, 2, 3, and 4 in the Mariners lineup. Ackley, Ichiro, and Smoke. Ackley flied to left in the 1st.
Early in the game, 1st inning, Neffy struggled with his fastball command. Since then, he's thrown a lot of strikes, especially with his off-speed pitches. He's gotten a couple of outs with off-speed pitches. Walked the 2 in the 1st inning, none since then. 3 strikeouts since then, though.
That one is well hit, but foul.
Ackley turned that high fastball around. Fortunately, he turned it too far around. And another out with a breaking ball.
Roller right to Kinsley.
Very well located, too. Kept that ball down below the knees.
8 in a row set down by Feliz.
Watch where that breaking ball is. Outside corner and down. Not much you're going to do with that if you swing it other than hit it on the ground just like that. Biggest pitch was the double play that he got Smoked to hit into in the 1st inning. Since that time, rolling right along.
Ichiro was the 2nd walk of the 1st inning. After leadoff man Figgins.
Back-to-back breaking balls. That one dropped right on the outside corner.
Big key for Feliz. Started to throw strike 1. First pitch strike 4 the last 5 hitters.
Another off-speed pitch. Change up. Cued it right off the end of the bat.
Only one of the first 7 Mariners saw first pitch strike. Into left field. Murphy is there for out number 2.
That's a nice pitching right there. 3 off-speed pitches and then a high fastball where he's trying to elevate it, get Ichiro to swing at it, which he did, and just a little soft pop-up line drive to left field. There's the high one. You can see the first breaking ball was down. Changeup was away that he hit right off the end of the bat, and the fastball was up and out of the strike zone. Another off-speed pitch for a strike.
Feliz settling in. Justin Smoke's 4-6-3 double play ball in the 1st started this run of 9 straight. Retired. That one will reach the seats. And Neffy doing it in economical fashion. 19 pitches in the 1st, 14 each of the last 2. A chance for an 11 pitch 4th inning.
When you watch him through 4 innings, he definitely looks like a starting pitcher. His repertoire of pitches is very impressive today.
See if he challenges Smoke again. Can't get him to reach for that one. Neffy in the minors, 4.5 years, 16-16, ERA right at 3. 54 of his 80 appearances were as a starter. It is not new to him, just at this level. 2-2.
Trying to get him chase that off-speed pitch.
Seattle still looking for their first base hit. There it is. 2-out single by Smoke, which will bring up Kyle Seager. That's the first hit he's allowed. First hit ever for a Mariner against Feliz.
The high fastball actually on the outside corner. Smoke got the good part of the bat on it, though.
So as a team, they were 0 for 58 against Neffy. Current roster was 0 for 38 with 16 strikeouts until that Justin Smoke base hit. He had set down the previous 9 using only 38 pitches. Seager grounded to first his first trip. Way out in front.
I don't think you could have asked for anything more in the way of complimentary pitches than what Neffy has thrown today. Whether it's his breaking ball or his changeup, they've been really, really good.
Popped up.
Makes the fastball look a little bit more.
Andrews drifting out to short left. That takes care of Seattle's fourth. They finally get a base hit. Do nothing with it. Still 1-0 Rangers. Neftali Feliz, one of 4 pitchers in Rangers history to average more than 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. Name the other 3. In the Ranger fourth, heart of the order, Hamilton, Beltre, and Young. Blake Bevan pitching well, just not quite as well as Feliz. A run on 2 hits in the second. 3 strikeouts and a walk. You got Hamilton to fly to left to end the first. And he jumps on the first pitch, again out to very shallow left field. Kawasaki drifting back. Here's Jim Knox.
All right, Dave, one of the coolest new attractions here at the ballpark. It's the new Kids Zone air condition. They got a rock climbing wall. They also have a lighted tee, and one of everyone's favorite is the lightning fast baseball bat slide. Check this baby out. Whoa, man. Never know, you even have Ranger Captain right on the end of this thing. Way to go with the American League Championship ring. Not bad. Way to go, guys. Kids Zone right behind center field.
I don't know, Tom. We're going to get Noxie back from the Kids Zone? We may have lost him.
Probably not. Must have cost a lot to make that ring for Ranger Captain. About 3 times as big as the others.
Beltre led the second with a double. And grounds that one foul behind Dave Anderson. Adrian now 5 for his last 10 after an 0 for 7 start. Down to the knee. One and 2.
That's one you don't want to try at home right there.
Make sure you're good and stretched out if you do. That is truly his trademark. And this one is fair for Kyle Seager. So Bevan gets the Rangers 3 and 4 hitters here in the fourth. Now the DH Young.
Well, both pitchers are throwing nicely today. Bevan's had good stuff. Sneaky fastball. Pretty good pitches to go along with it. Rangers only have a couple of hits. Fortunately, they came in the same inning. And David Murphy's 2-out hit brought in the only run.
Tom, really a mature approach for a 23-year-old. And that he's not just trying to light up the gun. He is pitching.
Yep, that's for sure. And I think all you have to do is watch the way the hitters, again, swing at the fastball. The radar gun speed doesn't mean anything. It's how the hitter reacts to the fastball. And I think the way the Ranger hitters so far in this game have reacted to his fastball, it looks like it is 94, 95 miles an hour. So what the radar gun speed says on it really doesn't matter. There's been plenty of guys who light up the radar gun and just get lit up. They're easier to see. The hitters pick up the ball. If they pick up the ball, they can time it.
Ichiro will come in to make this grab, and the Rangers go in order in the bottom of the fourth. Just 9 pitches required for Bevan to do it. And it had to do with the strikeout rate of Neftali Feliz. One of 4 in Ranger history to average more than 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. The other 3. Of course, Nolan Ryan better than 10 per 9 innings. Frank Francisco right at 10. And Mitch Williams, even a little bit better rate than Feliz. Pitching with his hair on fire. Rangers closer of the late 80s. Mark McLemore joins us. What are your impressions for the second straight night, a starting debut?
I like it. I like what I'm seeing so far. I mean, he's, his fastball started out a little bit high in the zone, but he's worked that kink out, and he's being very aggressive. He's throwing that fastball first strike, and that's what he wants to do. He needs to get ahead of these hitters and just let them know, hey, I'm coming after you, and I've got some other things to go along with my fastball.
Well, early in the game, after maybe 20 pitches, it was probably 10 balls, 10 strikes. Since then, it's been over 30 strikes and about 15 balls. So he's definitely turned around that ratio.
Jesus Montero struck out his first time up. Michael Saunders next, and then Miguel Olivo. And 2-2.
That's a good slider he's thrown. Struck out Montero on that exact same pitch the first time up. Montero's geared up to hit his fastball, but not geared up to lay off that pitch. I've swung at that pitch a few times, Matt.
Just a few?
Just about like that.
I've swung at it a few times in a at-bat.
few every game. Just keep saying, I hope he hangs one. I hope he hangs one.
I hope it hits my bat. That's what I say. Oh. Yeah, if he can keep that slider in that area there, I mean, it's going to be tough to hit because it looks just like his fastball, and you've got to be ready for it.
That one is lined to left field, a base hit for Montero, and Seattle has its second hit. They've come in the last 3 batters faced for Feliz.
He has the confidence to throw his off-speed pitch on a 3-2 pitch right there to start the 5th inning. Montero, I guess, had seen it enough, and that one caught enough of the plate where he's able to get the bat on it. In fact, he got a lot of the bat on it. That was a rope.
As you watched Feliz last couple of years, did you see him long-term as a starter?
I didn't. I thought he would end up staying in the bullpen as a closer. And that's, really because there wasn't anybody else that could fill that role at the time. But, I mean, if you really look at it, he's really only been in the bullpen for 2 years, maybe 2.5, 3 years. All the other time he's been a starter. So, seeing that and viewing him as a starter all along, I can really see that. But I really thought his long-term plan was, or in my mind, was to be a closer.
One thing, Mac, if he stayed a closer, he probably never would have developed his off-speed pitches because he really didn't need them, and he didn't have the luxury of kind of tinkering with them out there. But now as a starter, at least what we're seeing so far is he's got the makings of pretty good repertoire of pitches.
And I think, him being a starter previously, he understands that he can't just rely on the 98, 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
He has touched 96 tonight. Two-one to Saunders. Out of play at 94, and it's 2-2.
I never had fun with that guy that could, throw 95, 96, and when he needed to, throw 98. Reach down for a pitch, he needs a strikeout, and then all of a sudden he puts that extra, 2 or 3 on there. I didn't like those guys. I like the guys that would just top out here. Here's my hardest, and you could gauge it as a hitter and say, okay, well, I know he can't throw anything harder than that pass ball.
I'm trying to blow one past Saunders here. 75 pitches, 46 strikes. Only 29 balls. Walked 2 of the first 3 batters he faced. 2 of the last 3 have base hits. In between, not much of anything. This one has popped up.
He threw him a couple of 95-mile-an-hour fastballs. Whoa.
Nice.
That was close. And then he got him on a changeup. He's got a lot of his outs today on off-speed pitches. And that one, Saunders was a little bit out in front of that changeup.
Now, Matt, walk us through this. Beltre coming a long way to get this.
He is. I think it kind of went, kept drifting a little bit further away from him than he anticipated, because actually Napoli can make this play where the ball ends up. Now, when that infielder is calling that catcher off, it's always an easier play for that infielder coming in as opposed to that catcher going out and turning around and then having to come back. And with Beltre, hey, if Beltre's calling for a ball and I'm on the field, it's all his. That's a Gold Glove guy over there. So if he's calling for it, he's got it.
Even to the foul side of first base. That one finally drifted.
It's nice to have a guy on the team in any position that if he gets to it, it's an out. And Beltre is really one of those guys.
He's the ultimate of that, isn't he? 2-0 to Olivo. Struck out looking his first trip. Double play depth in the infield. Rangers have turned 1. That was in the first after those 2 early walks. First catcher ever to lead the Mariners in homers and RBIs in a single season last year. Took only 62 runs batted in to lead the Mariners last year. Team that scored 300 fewer runs than the Rangers, hitting just .233. Next worst team average, Tampa Bay. They were 11 points better than Seattle. Having played for both teams, how far away is Seattle from becoming worth considering as a factor again?
I think they're still a little ways away. They're starting. They've got a couple of quality pitchers. Blake Bevan being one that's going tonight, and then also Felix Hernandez. A little surprised they made the move with Pineda, sending him to New York. He looks like a nice, young, promising pitcher, but I think it starts with that pitching. If you've got quality pitching, you can start putting other pieces in place. And right now, I don't know that they really have a young core group of guys like the Rangers have that they can start building a team on.
Got him with a changeup. I'm pretty impressed with Feliz tonight. He is mixing his pitches up like he's been starting his whole career. That's a good changeup.
Wow.
That's about as good a changeup as you can throw right there. Yeah. His fastballs in 94, 95. Changeup was 86. Oliva's probably looking for a fastball right there.
Olivo, 2 of the 4 strikeouts for Feliz. Here is Munedori Kawasaki, who drives the first pitch into right center field, and another sliding catch by Josh Hamilton.
When it goes up, you just know Josh is going to find a way to catch it. I didn't think he was going to get to that one, but he did.
His personal highlight reel continues to grow. On Thursday, it's Wildlife Education Day for kids and for mom and dad. One of only 2 weekday afternoon games this spring. Use your vacation day wisely to soak in the spring with the boys of summer. Call 972-RANGERS for tickets or go to TexasRangers.com. Can't make it out? We will have it here on Fox Sports Southwest. Eric Holland against Jason Vargas. Is this ever worth another look?
You can see where Josh was playing him way around in left center field. And somehow he pulled the ball, but it hung up just long enough for Josh to make the catch. The eyes concentrating on that ball.
Look at that, watching it all the way to the ground, watching it come up in the glove. Look at that.
That's a great shot.
That's concentration right there.
Kind of see why Josh says he enjoys those even more than homers. Catches like that.
Yeah, but you know what, Tag? You could probably attest to this. You always hear guys say that hit 30, 40 home runs a year. I never said that.
Me either.
They didn't just all run together for you?
No. No, not quite. I can probably remember every one of my 50.
I remember some of them. There were some pretty good catches by you, too. Little dribbler back to Bevan. And Cruz is out number 1 and the Ranger 5th.
Well, a few times I made a catch like that. I really enjoyed it. But it wouldn't even get in the same hemisphere as the feeling of hitting a home run. I'll tell you that.
Not at all. I loved it when I got it. Occasionally.
Here is David Murphy, who drove in the run. 2-out single in the second. Second RBI of the year. His first was his home run into the upper porch Sunday against the White Sox. Ron Washington says David Murphy made the starting lineup this year because of the improvement he made on his defense. Trying to get better reactions, get 2 balls quicker. You seeing that from him?
I am, and I always thought he was a pretty good outfielder, but I think he's definitely worked on it because that's really been the knock.
That one will find the wall in left center field, and Murphy into second with his second hit. Thinking about 3, the ball is loose. He'll make it.
That's pretty big with 1 out, too. David's had 2 good at-bats. First time up, he hit a fastball the other way on the outside corner. That time he waited on the breaking ball. Almost drove it right out of the ballpark.
I mean, he really drives this ball. That's a long way the other way.
Yeah, it hit the wall out there. Looked like he was trying to drop it on the outside corner, and he dropped it right in the middle of the plate. I think all David had to do was get it up in the air a little bit.
Wow.
Would have gotten out of here. Well, now Napoli has a chance. The infield in. Bring in the Rangers' second run. Good heads-up base running by David right there.
It's great. He watched the ball all the way in and didn't assume that the infielder was going to catch the ball. Those are the things that make the difference between a winning ball club and a losing ball club. Number one, being able to make that play. The Rangers don't let that play happen defensively. And offensively, David Murphy is alert. The Rangers are very, very aggressive on the base pass. They will take that extra base whenever they can.
Strike 2 to Napoli with the infield drawn in. The air is charged to the center fielder Saunders on the throw.
Mac, we're talking about exactly that. In the first game yesterday, didn't turn that double play in the first inning. The Rangers scored 2 runs.
Those are the plays that I think a lot of people, especially now, take for granted.
And that looper caught in foul ground by Smoke.
That's pretty impressive at bat right there for Bevan.
Let's go back to our Fox Sports Southwest studio for a Mazda CX-5 game break. Here's Leslie McCaslin. All right, Leslie, and Mitch Moreland with 2 outs will try to bring in Murphy from third. Robbed by Sean Figgins, racing back, reaching up to grab his liner in the third.
We were talking about this earlier too, Mac. He must have a sneaky fastball. He must hide the ball because the Rangers pretty much all game long have been just a tick behind that 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
He looks like he's got a little funky type of a delivery. All of a sudden his arm whips around and there's the ball.
Yeah, I don't think the hitter sees it very well.
Well, he's out of trouble as Moreland pops to Ackley. Murphy is left at third. Thanks as always, Mark McLemore.
You got it.
All right, see you on Rangers Live.
All right, see you.
Thank you, Mac.
first 5 innings. 2 early walks bailed out by the double play ball off the bat of Justin Smoke to get out of the first. Settling in since then. 2 hits and 4 strikeouts.
I think the most impressive part of the night has been the command of his off-speed pitches. He's had a really good changeup. He's had a good breaking ball. He's been able to keep the hitters off his fastball, but he's still had an effective fastball right along with it. Just a really good combination of pitches tonight at all different speeds.
And Washington has seen Feliz the first pitch strikes to 8 of the last 11 batters, 9 of the last 12 as he gets ahead of Figgins.
With a changeup. You know, if you're the Mariners and you're used to seeing Feliz come in as a closer where it's almost exclusively 95-mile-an-hour fastballs, they have to be really surprised at what they're seeing today. I'm surprised. I mean, I knew he was making good progress, and I remember Ron Washington and Mike Maddox saying how impressed they were during the simulated game he pitched before the season. But I have to admit, I did not expect to see this effective use of his off-speed pitches that we're seeing tonight. It's been very impressive.
Have to be impressed by those numbers.
2 walks came to the first 3 hitters in the game. Another off-speed pitch to get an out.
Out into shallow center, and Hamilton there for the out.
And that was the question with Neffy as a closer. I think everyone in baseball, and I know the Rangers feel this way, if you have a chance to be a top of the rotation pitcher, you're more valuable doing that than you are as a closer. That's a fact. And so the Rangers, it takes a little bit of courage to take a rookie of the year, a 40 save closer, and make him a starting pitcher. But the Rangers feel that he can become a top of the rotation guy. And one thing to do that he has to do is he has to use all his pitches and he has to develop his off-speed pitches. And here in his first start, it's pretty much there right now.
Also, of course, speaks to the depth that John Daniels and his staff have built up on the pitching end. They could project Feliz to the rotation, go get a Joe Nathan. Plenty out there to get it to Nathan.
Boy, he's throwing a first pitch changeup for a strike like it's automatic.
After that first inning walk, Ichiro flied to left.
And that's just not a changeup that they've never seen before, and that's why they're not hitting it. That's a good changeup. It's got good movement on it. It breaks away and down from a left-hand hitter. It's got good motion with it. There's 3 straight to Ichiro to get another out.
3 up and 3 down on 8 pitches, all fly ball outs for Feliz. He is through 6 working on a 2-hit shutout. And tonight the Rangers are hitting for David Kelly from Farmers Branch. If a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, David Kelly wins $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. And it's the top of the order in the Rangers' sixth. Kinsler, Andrus, and Hamilton. Ian has flied to right, walked, and been caught stealing. Blake Bevan almost matching Neftali Feliz pitch for pitch. He's allowed only 3 base hits. 2 of them bunched in the second to get the Rangers their run. Only other hit was Murphy's double last inning, taking third on the throwing error by the center fielder Saunders, but Bevan kept him right there, getting pops by Napoli and Moreland. Off the fist. And Kyle Seager waiting for it to come down.
I don't think the Rangers have really teed off on a fastball the whole game. I don't mean hit a home run, but just really get out in front of one and hit it on a good part of the bat. Beltre drove a fastball pretty well to right center field. That's the one. A fastball down and away, drove it to right center field. Other than that, there's been a lot of lazy fly balls and pop-ups with his fastball. A lot of them have been when he's been behind in the count too, which is the true test of a fastball when a guy's looking for it. There's one.
That's got to feel good for Elvis, who was 1 for 18.
That's getting out in front of a fastball and hitting it right on the nose. And maybe third time through the lineup will be a little bit different after they've had a chance to see it a little bit more.
The way Andrus was swinging it out in Arizona. Right through the hole, 1 out single. And he's aboard for Hamilton, who has flied to left and popped to short. Trying to remain the only Ranger who has hit in every game this year. See if the Rangers break through into the stolen base column for the first time. Kinsler tried after his walk in the third. And Olivo threw him out with a terrific catch on a throw that hopped to Kawasaki.
Oh, just got underneath it.
Higgins having to come in and over toward the line, but he gets there for out number 2. And our Ford leaderboard for tonight. Since 2008, homers against Seattle. Mark Teixeira has the most, and then right behind him, Cruz and Hamilton, followed by Juan Rivera and Nick Swisher. 08 being the first year Cruz and Hamilton played together as Rangers. So with 2 outs, here's Beltre. Doubled his first trip, last time grounded to third. Thrown out at a rundown between second and third on a Young grounder, but took enough time that he allowed Young to get to second. Michael then wild pitched to third, and with 2 outs scored on the Murphy RBI single.
You know, Dave, when you look at last night's game and you see the Ranger hitters just really tee off and have a big night offensively, and then in the very next night you see a young pitcher like Bevan come in, you have to give him a lot of credit for the way he's thrown the ball tonight and really held the Rangers to 4 hits and 1 run so far through the ball game. It's credit to him and the way he's commanded his pitches tonight. Been a well pitched game by both the young pitchers.
And that was a very typical line for him last year, including against the Rangers. Off the fist, over Ackley for a hit. Andrews headed to third. The Rangers have runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Pretty good pitch. It's a fastball tailing in. Adrian was able to muscle it over second for first and third. Give Michael Young an opportunity with a man in scoring position.
Most of the time, you expect Michael to come through in these situations.
Bevin's only thrown 74 pitches, which is a pretty good pitch count.
Rangers tonight with runners in scoring position are 1 for 5. Michael, 102 career RBIs against Seattle. A picture of his consistency. He's a career .302 hitter against Seattle pitching. Last year against them, he had .303. And he drives that one to fairly deep. Right center field, but Ichiro is there. 2 hits for the Rangers, but they leave runners at the corners in the 6th. Still 1-0. Drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Jack in the Box. Love bacon? Then try the new BLT cheeseburger combo for only $4.99 plus tax. And we reach the 7th inning. A 76-degree, very pleasant Tuesday night at the ballpark. Dave Barnett and Tom Grieve, and Neftali Feliz in his first major league start locked up in a terrific pitcher's duel with Blake Bevan. Smoke, Seager, and Montero, middle of the order. Best chance Seattle had against Neffy was in the first. He walked Figgins, and Ichiro with 1 out. He got smoked to ground into a 4-6-3 double play.
They got Ichiro to pop up to center field in the last at bat of the 6th inning on 3 straight changeups. And he's been able to start the hitters off with strikes, frequently with off-speed pitches. And there's 3 straight off-speed pitches to Smoke. First one was a breaking ball. Last 2 have been changeups. So 2-0. You know Smoke's looking fastball all the way. Throws him a 2-0 changeup for a strike. And there's the 4th straight off-speed pitch. 7 in a row if you go back to Ichiro's at bat. 6 of them changeups. You talk about a guy that's comfortable throwing that changeup. And to throw that many and to get those results shows you what kind of a changeup it is, too.
Ripped for a base hit, and Justin Smoke has his second straight hit.
I don't know if he could hit the changeup, but he's showing he can hit the fastball. It's almost the same at bat that he had in the 4th inning. Behind in the count, gets a high fastball and just jumps all over it. You can tell he's looking fastball all the way.
Hitting the road, take the Rangers with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Rangers out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit TexasRangers.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Seager, 3 hits last night, and takes this one into right center field, where Cruz grabs the first out. Seager tonight 0 for 3.
Well, first time through the rotation, and the pitcher who has pitched deeper into a game is Neffy. 6 1/3. No one has gone more than 6 so far. Darvish almost went 6 yesterday. Harrison, Holland, and Kobe Lewis all pitched 6 innings. So that in itself is pretty impressive.
Jesus Montero struck out first trip, led off the 5th with a single. The only Mariner to get past first base was Sean Figgins after the second walk in the 1st inning. As Koji Uehara begins to throw in the Ranger pen, with Feliz at 100 pitches now.
Ogando and Mike Adams have both pitched in 3 out of the 4 games so far. They both pitched last night. Ogando an inning and a 3rd. Normally 7th inning, you would expect to see Ogando. Obviously, he's probably not available tonight, or he would be up. As far as the 8th inning goes, we'll see. Mike Adams had a fairly quick inning yesterday.
That one is through the hole and a base hit. And for the second time, a Mariner as far as second. So Smoke and Montero both 2 for 3. And Michael Saunders makes his way to the plate. He's fly to left and hit that pop-up that Beltre chased all the way just to the right of home plate back in the 5th. Key at bat of the game for Feliz right here. Tying run in scoring position at only 1 out. And he starts Saunders with a fastball. Mariner is very pleased with Saunders' improvements over the offseason. The 356 Cactus League. 0-2. Did not go, says Paul Nauert.
Well, he started it, but it looked like he stopped it in time. Good bat control. 2 fastballs, then a breaking ball. You'll see the side view, and it was close. Probably say, well, I've seen guys run up on that before. Well, it was borderline.
Two and two. Only other time Feliz put 2 runners on, he got the double play ball that the Rangers are hoping for right here. Moreland with only the chance at second base.
That's okay. That's a good out to get one of the lead runners. It's a 1-run game. You keep the go-ahead run out of scoring position. You get an out. Mitch was a pitcher in college. did pitch in college. So he's got a good, strong arm, and it's accurate, too. Makes a lot of good throws. It's one of his strengths at first base.
So he gets the second out of the inning. Smoke is at third. Saunders on the fielder's choice at first for Olivo. Struck out looking in the third, swinging in the fifth.
Well, Olivo is a strikeout candidate, but he's got some power, too. You can't make a mistake to him.
Little number. Feliz bobbles, recovers in time at first.
Don't do that to me. Looked like a simple out, and then you go, oh no, game's tied, but he recovered. Mitch got back to the bag just in time, and they get the last out, and Neffy goes 7 shutout innings. Wow, that was close.
Happily, it was the catcher. Still just nipped it. Southwest is brought to you by Ace Cash Express, earning your trust since 1968. Still 1-0 thanks to a terrific recovery from a near misplay on this dribbler off the bat of Olivo.
Well, Mitch goes for the ball, and now he's got to get back. And Neffy fields it, throws it like an infielder, and they just barely get out of first base. That was close. Looked like an easy play. I think Neffy was going to catch it and just keep going and touch first base himself. But once he missed it and recovered, Mitch had to get back because Neffy couldn't have gotten there.
Cruz has struck out, bounced to the mound. Bevan out in front of him, 0-2. Blake Bevan, very economical tonight, just at 78 pitches. Mike Adams readying himself for the 8th inning.
Yep, tonight Mike was ready for the 8th. It was Koji for the 7th, though. Ogando wasn't available.
He should be smiling. What a first major league start. It's pulse races perhaps on that last out, but he got it, and this one will end up out of play.
Yeah, I think that's what he was smiling at, is how close that routine play came to being a play that really tied the game up and hurt him, but he recovered. Made us all a little bit nervous, but when it was all over and done with, it was the 3rd out of the inning.
I think we're in agreement that the way he pitched the number of off-speed pitches he threw, the quality that he threw. I think most people tuned in thinking, well, we'll probably see, if as a closer he was throwing 95% fastball, probably 85, 90%. Nothing close to that.
No, and that's something he worked on all during the spring. I don't know that you could have expected him, if you're not in the dugout and really watching closely, but kind of from a distance like we are.
Cruz drives this one deep to left field. And to the wall. Saunders has room for the out.
He just got underneath it a little bit. Looked like a pretty good breaking ball to hit. Looked like a pretty good swing. Just didn't carry out of here. I don't think you could have expected Neffy. Well, that's a hanger, but stays inside a little bit. Got underneath it, but still off the bat, it looked like it might be enough to put it into the Mariner bullpen. But just getting back to Neffy, that you could have expected to see that accomplished a start as we saw today. It was just terrific, especially after the third hitter when he couldn't command his fastball. Threw a lot of pitches to the first three hitters. After that, he was right there with everything. Fastball was very effective. His changeup was terrific. He threw him one right after the other late in the ball game. Threw three straight to get Ichiro out. That changeup's going to really help him.
What a night for David Murphy. He is 3 for 3, and he's got his second straight double.
Well, Blake Bevan, we've talked about how effective Neffy's been tonight. Blake Bevan has pitched a nice game himself. The one guy he hasn't solved, though, is David Murphy, who's gone to left field 3 times in this game and has a couple of doubles and a single.
Craig Gentry will pinch run.
They're doing a nice job of taking that low pitch on the outside half of the plate and driving it the other way. He's done that a couple of times with fastballs, and then he had a breaking ball out over the plate that he almost drove out of the ballpark. Gentry's going to run and take over in the outfield, and hopefully the Rangers can sneak in an insurance run right here.
Another RBI chance here for Napoli. Came up last time after the first Murphy double, but fouled out. That is a fair ball right down the line to Seager, and Napoli never left the batter's box.
Must have hit him. The umpire's signaling that it hit Napoli. Napoli never moved. And the home plate umpire is Dana DeMuth, and Dana DeMuth pointed to Napoli's leg, saying that the ball bounced off Napoli. Eric Wedge is rather emphatic in saying he didn't think that's where it hit. Tough call for an umpire. You're watching the pitch. You see the hitter hit it straight down. And it's tough to tell. Did it just nick his foot? It's
not quite.
Yeah, it's out there close to it. But it's tough for an umpire. You see the hitter doesn't move. Generally, the hitter's going to run. So if it didn't hit Napoli, the Rangers got a call.
Rangers tonight with runners in scoring position are 1 for 6. Couple of shots here in the 7th for an insurance run. 1 and 2. Mariners now get some activity in their bullpen. Bevan about to throw pitch number 88, and right at the head of Napoli. Knocked the helmet off. Here comes Jamie Reed with Ron Washington. As Mike quickly makes his way to his feet. What a great sight that is. What a scary sight, though, to see him go down like that.
You just hope it got all helmet and not any of his head. He's saying, I'm staying in the game. Jamie Reed's doing his job and making sure he's okay. No, nothing intentional there from Blake Bevan. That ball just got away from him. like Mike's saying he's okay. He's trying to throw in. You can see Olivo set up in. Oh boy, I thought it hit him in the back of the helmet. That just, wow. That is right off the corner of the helmet near the side of the head. Fortunately, Mike was just able to turn in to get that glancing blow off the helmet. Boy, that was just so scary. And from, from Blake Bevan's side, he's not trying to do that. The ball just got away from him. That's going to be it for him. Unfortunately, Mike's okay. That's scary.
So that's his final of 88 pitches, and he gives way to the right-hander Tom Wilhelmsen. Napoli still in the game when we return. That run after Beltre's double, caught in a run down long enough for Michael Young to get second base after a strikeout of Cruz. Wild pitch got Michael to third, from where Murphy singled him home off the glove of Kawasaki. Now Tom Wilhelmsen, who starts with a strike to Moreland, who has lined to left and popped to second. Wilhelmsen already in for the fourth time this year.
He's got a good arm. He's got an interesting story too. He was out of baseball from 2004 to 2008. A little bit of daylight there, but not a very good throw to second base. Came back and played in an independent league for basically 5 years out of professional baseball. Come back to pitch in the big leagues. Looked like Gentry's going to try to steal third base right there, which you see a good base runner do that a lot of times with a new pitcher who you assume might be more in tune to the hitter than the base runner.
This pop is going to reach the seats.
And Craig had a couple of steps toward third base, but Wilhelmsen's throw to second was off to the second base side, so Craig got back pretty easily on that.
Devin went 6 and a third. A run on 6 hits, struck out 3, walked 1. The hit batsman. To center field. Back goes Saunders at the edge of the track for the out. And Gentry will make third.
I think there's a couple of balls that have been hit today. Nelly Cruz and Mitch Moreland. A little later on in the summer when it's a little bit warmer. I think both of those balls have a chance to carry out here. It looked like Mitch hit that ball pretty nicely. Thought the same thing with Nelly. The pitch out over the plate, but Mitch drove that ball pretty well all the way to the warning track.
So runners on the corners with 2 out. Rangers had this situation last inning. And Kinsler 0 for 2 with a walk.
Great fastball by Wilhelmsen at 96 miles an hour.
Wilhelmsen never above low A before making the opening day roster last year. Talked last night about Steve Delabar, who thought he was done with the arm injury.
2 pretty good stories in the same bullpen.
Came back, discovered he was not only healthy again, but throwing harder than he was pre-injury. And he makes the opening day roster. Curve misses, giving Kinsler a hitter's count. Broken bat behind the bag as Kawasaki at his throw is in time. So Wilhelmsen comes in, does the job. Rangers lead 2 in the 7th, still up 1-0.
On to pitch for Texas, and an interesting stat brought to me by bullpen coach Andy Hawkins, something I didn't realize. I don't know if you guys did, but just one guy from opening day last season is in the bullpen for opening day this season. That was Mark Lowe. Just goes to show the turnover in the bullpen, but it seems to be working thus far.
That's the thing with bullpens. You have a lot of turnover, sometimes from year to year. Unfortunately, it was a huge turnover from the beginning of last season to this season. But, I think, bullpens become a little bit of a strength. And, we have some guys out there that can really throw the ball pretty good. And, we take pride in what we do, and we do it all together as a unit. And, we just kind of, one at a time, hand the ball off to the next guy and just keep getting the job done.
Obviously, a lot of familiar faces out there, but perhaps in different roles, as we saw tonight. Neftali Feliz in the starting rotation and did a bang-up job tonight. Hopefully, the bullpen will continue its early season success tonight, gentlemen.
Yes, Emily. Beginning with Mike Adams here in the 8th inning. And he'll have the 9-1 and 2 hitters, Kawasaki, Figgins, and Ackley. But, wow, what a first Major League start by Feliz. A double plus 7 shutout innings. 4-hit ball. Struck out 4. Only 2 walks. 2 of the first 3 batters he faced. Got out a jam in the 7th to keep that slate clean and that lead it 1-0. Kawasaki grounded to short and robbed on a Terrific sliding catch out in center by Hamilton last time. Hamilton has moved to left. Gentry stays in the game in center. The usual defensive changes for the late innings. Munenori Kawasaki from Kagoshima, Japan. 11 years with Fukuoka. Helped them win the Japan Series last year. Before signing in January as a free agent come over.
We talked about him last night. He's had a 10-year career in Japan. He's a career 294 hitter. Not with a lot of power, but a pretty good hitter in Japan.
Moreland has him played perfectly for out number 1. Ranger fan Chevy is proud to present a new show called Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. here on Fox Sports Southwest, or visit hometownkids.tv for more information. One gone. Here's Figgins. Began the game with a walk. Then struck out looking into third, fly to center in the 6th. Feliz, by the way, threw 108 pitches, 68 strikes into 7 innings.
Had a rarity on the scoreboard, Dave. Rain delay in Oakland.
I just saw that. Kansas City is waiting to get underway out there.
I don't know that we've ever had a rain delay in Oakland. Sure we have, but don't remember it.
Rangers first team besides the A's to meet Seattle. Twice in Japan and then a couple more times at the Coliseum, where the weather must have been beautiful. $18 of their first 27 on the road. Schedule maker not doing them any favors. Figgins lifts that one out to shallow right center. 3 converge. Gentry takes charge. Out number 2. And as we observe all year the 40th anniversary of Rangers baseball, this dated Rangers history. 30 years ago, the Rangers beat the Indians 8-3. Opening day in Cleveland, 38 degrees, wind chill of 17, and an estimated 500 tons of snow was removed.
Nice.
From Cleveland Stadium. Check swing by Ackley, who was 0 for 3. 500 tons of snow, but they got the game in.
That's what counts. I remember a game Charlie Huff pitched in Baltimore. I think it was Charlie Huff pitched it, or maybe Dave Roseman. Anyway, no, Dave Roseman I think came in for Charlie and lost the game, where it snowed pretty heavily on opening day. Played the game anyway.
Popped into shallow
right
left.
there.
And there is Josh Hamilton, and there is a very quick 1-2-3 8th inning turned in just 9 pitches by Mike Adams. Burger King. And man, you don't see there, the Rangers hitting star of the night, David Murphy, who was 3 for 3, 2 doubles, and the RBI single in the second for the game's only run. Then replaced by Craig Gentry. 1 run on 6 hits for the Rangers. No errors. They've left 6. No runs, 4 hits, an error, and the Mariners have left 5. Tom Wilhelmsen came in with runners on the corners to get Moreland to fly out and Kinsler to ground out. Breaks Andrews' bat as he rolls it out to Kawasaki. Let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, Dave, real quick time for the Progressive fan game. They're going to love this little guy. It's Jackie, been rooting the Rangers on all game long from the Trophy Club. Also serenading the crowd. Give us a little test of what you're tuning into, Jackie.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark.
Not bad. Way to go. Here's the bag. Congratulations. Progressive fan of the game. Way to go, buddy. Yeah. American Idol next up.
Did not see that coming, did you?
No harmony, Noxie?
Wow.
Help him out. Bet we see him on American Idol.
That's a future star right there.
1-1 to Hamilton, who has twice flied to left. In between, he popped to short.
That's an America's Got Talent for sure. No age limit on that show.
Slow roller, trouble for Seager, no play, and Josh Hamilton opens the season having hit now in all 5 games.
Off-speed pitch had him out in front of it. Seager's playing back at third base. He wanted to let it roll, but he knew that wasn't going to roll foul. He just picked it up, knew he didn't have a throw either. Well, Josh ends up, at least through the 8th inning, 1 for 4. Maybe trying to tack on an insurance run right here.
Adrian Beltre, a double, a grounder to third, and a single.
Good swing on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Adrian 6 for his last 12 as he steps up here. Some notes coming in about the start by Neftali Feliz. He is the 3rd pitcher in Rangers history to go 7 innings and not allow a run in his first major league start. Hugging the line and off Seager. Everybody's safe.
Seager kind of waited back to try to catch it on a hop. He knew he wasn't going to turn a double play, but he was hoping to get an out at second base. Instead, the ball came up on him. They'll go for an error. The Rangers have a little something going right here.
See if the Rangers make Seattle pay for the extra out they've just been given.
Well, for the only run, they made him pay for not being able to make a rundown play properly. A couple of guys threw the ball too quickly, allowed Michael Young, instead of being on first, to get to second, went to third on a wild pitch and scored on David Murphy's hit.
His last 2 trips, he's flied to right. Sends this one to right. Ichiro for the out. But Hamilton will make third.
Another ball that the Rangers just got underneath a little bit. Michael almost drove that out of the ballpark if he got just a little bit more of it.
So again, runners on the corners. 3rd straight inning. The Rangers have this set up. 2 outs for Nelson Cruz, who was struck out, bounced to the mound, and flied to center. By the way, the other 2 Rangers to debut, as well as Feliz tonight, their first major league start. Brian Sikorsky, 2000 against the Yankees, and Steve Comer, 1978 against Baltimore. Wilhelmsen going right after Cruz as Joe Nathan gets ready for the 9th inning. Curves him, and it's 0-2. Wilhelmsen has been very sharp, just that infield hit by Hamilton and the Seager error. 2 fly ball outs, 2 ground outs, and a strikeout. And the Rangers again leaving runners on the corner, so we go to the 9th. Ichiro, Smoke, and Seager against Nathan. Local Ford dealer and drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By Burger King, proud sponsor of opening week baseball. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For money-saving car insurance, quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. 25,753. Ready to see Joe Nathan lock down his second save in Ranger uniform. Up and on opening day. Took the loss Saturday. He's got Ichiro, who was flied out twice after a first inning walk. Then Justin Smoke and Kyle Seager.
Well, Joe comes into the toughest part of the lineup. 3, 4, and 5 hitters.
And that is terrific success for any pitcher against Ichiro. NASCAR returns to Texas Motor Speedway for night racing during the Samsung Mobile 500 race this weekend. You can win tickets by texting FSN to 63767. Right now, FSN, text it to 63767 for a chance to win. Right field coming in to make the catch is Cruz.
Big first out. Boy, you want to get Ichiro right there. You need to get Ichiro right there. Leading off the inning. Good speed. He can steal a base. And Joe accomplished that. I got the fastball in. Ichiro hit it pretty good. But right straight to Nelly in right field.
A little sink to it. Cruz adjusting. So one gone, and here is Smoke. Double play grounder into the first. He singled his last 2 trips against Feliz. He has half the Seattle hit total on the night. Jesus Montero has the other 2. He would bat 4th this inning.
The Smoke has gotten behind in the count the last couple of times up on off-speed pitches and then hit 2 fastballs into right center field pretty hard. See what Joe throws him right here ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. That's a pitch. That's an execution right there. Mike Napoli took his glove and pointed to the ground. The head 0-2. Your goal right there. Don't throw him a pitch to hit. Throw it out of the strike zone. And he got Smoke to chase the off-speed pitch. Wasn't going to give him a fastball after the last couple of bats. That's execution by a veteran right there. Veteran catcher, veteran pitcher.
Feliz trying to join Darvish, a winner in his first major league start. He is 1 out away, and here is Seager. Was grounded out, popped out, and flied out, and he's down 0-1.
Got that slider working. .94 miles an hour right there from Joe. You can tell he's feeling good. He's working quickly. Says it's the best he's felt in a couple of years.
To left field, Hamilton. And the Rangers have just their 6th 1-0 victory in the history of Rangers Ballpark. And Neftali Feliz a winner in his rotational debut. Last time, July 2010 against the Angels. Feliz goes 7 innings, 4 hit ball.
The Rangers had to pound out a lot of runs yesterday to make up for Darvish's slow start. But they shut the Mariners out the last 7 innings last night and then show that they're built to win by playing the game the way you have to play to win it. Tonight they couldn't give up a run. They wanted to win in 9 innings anyway. So they had 9 shutout innings today. They've shut out the Mariners now for 16 straight innings. And what a start for Nefi Feliz. That's everything and more than we expected today. He's got to be feeling great.
He makes people basically rethink their entire image of him. Those who had seen him throw almost exclusively fastballs, it seemed, as a closer, especially last year. And what an assortment and what command of his off-speed pitches he displayed in this start tonight. Let's go down to Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. On a night where hits were hard to come by, David Murphy got his share, 3 for 3 at the plate. You were hitting Bevan very well.
I just felt good tonight. I wasn't trying to do too much. He's a guy, ball can sneak up on you, so just trying to take it easy.
Talk about the Rangers pitching. Nefi Feliz gets his first start of the season, and he came out just about lights out.
I mean, we knew what type of stuff he had. He made the transition well. It was fun to watch tonight. So, we're going to enjoy watching him all season long.
Right, appreciate the time, David. Congratulations on the big night. Dave?
All right, Jim. 1-0. Rangers manage only 7 base hits against Blake Bevitt and Tom Wilhelmsen. But the Murphy single in the second, enough for the win. Rangers Live is coming.